All right, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. For those of you that might not know who this is Angry Homesteader. I have to admit, I thought at first when I saw her channel, I thought she was messing with me because, like the Angryprepper. I'm like, someone started the Angry Home, but then I started watching her channel. I'm like, oh, all right, she's it's legit. So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought someone was playing around with me. Anyway, for those of you that don't that haven't followed her, ma'am, do me a favor and introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is, of course, Angry Homesteader. We are on a little bit of acreage looking for more and trying to be sustainable. So that means we've grown our own pigs for 7 years. I'm trying to get the garden bigger so we just can, just from all that stuff. Chickens, people see my chickens. So just stuff like that, trying to find bigger acreage so we can do more like cows.
Now, with that, guys, I've been watching her for a few months, and again, her title, her name actually caught my eye. That's what caught my eye originally.
Sorry about that.
No, but it was good. It was good because it's these kind of it's those kind of names that stand out that catch your attention.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't because of you, to be honest with you. It's because I'm really angry about what's going on in America. So I could have put pissed off, but
that actually rolls off the tongue though.
Yeah.
Pissed off homesteader. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But listen, angry, and that's when watching your videos, you get that sense that you're pissed at the state of the country.
Yeah.
Which it's good that you discuss it from time to time. I was watching your live stream yesterday, was it?
Right.
And you were discussing that and discussing getting out of Washington.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Washington. Now, with that being said, what is the catalyst for you to want to leave now?
Well, we're in a very liberal state, especially Western Washington, but I've had, including Southern Prepper 1, I've had quite a few military people emailing me and telling me we need to get out of Washington state. I don't know why.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, that's like people telling New Yorkers, or rather the few prepper New Yorkers, to get the hell out of New York, Yeah. I guess it's the equivalent of that. We're all watching the country pretty much fall apart, and it's interesting that while it's falling apart, we're focused. I'm talking about the country. It's focused on shit that don't matter.
I know.
Right?
I know. It absolutely fries my ass. It's like, really, guys, we have bigger problems to focus on. What's his name? Johnny Depp. Really?
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's focused on that.
Listen, I read like little paragraphs with the whole Johnny Depp thing, and then I was really disinterested with the Johnny Depp thing once I found out who the chick was, and I was like, all right, you know what it is? That's entertainment value. So if you're looking at it as entertainment value,
right,
or you just like, all right, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard they're still talking about this bullshit. Though, listen, I get it. People cannot comprehend what we can comprehend. I think that's what it comes down to.
I know, it's weird.
Right. So with that, if the shoe was to drop, or the hammer was to drop, rather, do you have a bug out location, or are you staying where you are?
We're going to stay here as long as we can. Okay. And if we hear, because we have our group here,
okay,
right around us, and very good group, very protective. So we're going to try to stay here as long as possible. And if we need to bug out, we have a location too. So
very good. Legacy Patriot, thank you for the donation. And you know what? It's
that's right.
It's funny because a lot of people are, Yeah, listen, the whole, like, let me walk it back. New York City's done. There's no saving it, I don't think. New York State, on the other hand, can be saved, can probably be fought for. But a lot of people keep saying, you need to leave, New York, or you need to leave Washington, Oregon, California. But
Yeah.
where are we going to, if we keep running, where the fuck are we all going to end up?
I know, I agree. That's what it's going to come down to, because I really do think it's going to get nasty. We have to stand our ground, and, and I'm ready for that. I think I said in my live that we went camping and practicing with our newer toys, and you have to be prepared as much as possible all the way around.
Yes, you are. So, what was the reason or the reasoning, sorry, for you preparing?
Oh, well, okay, first of all, I'm going to say I really don't care what anybody thinks about this. I know what it is. So, with that, I started getting dreams as I was waking up, being told to prepare. And it's one of those things that you go, was that a message? What was it, And I went down to a local grocery store, and this 80-year-old man came up to me, and he said, I was looking at canned goods, and he said, stock up on canned goods. And I just, being friendly, and said, oh, okay, thank you. And he told me that his son was in economics, and he said, you stock up what you can. So he walked off, not thinking, not soaking in what he was saying. And then when he left, I'm like, wait a minute. So I went chasing. This was like probably 30 seconds after he talked to me. And I went chasing, looking for him, and he was nowhere to be found. And this guy was old, bent over, slow, So it was very weird. But after that, the dreams were getting stronger, and this was before all this was happening. So now it all makes sense.
It really does, because it's like someone's ringing the bell, and actually the bell's already been rung, right?
Yeah.
And now it can't be unrung. And for those of us that are listening, whether it's a dream, whether it's numbers, whether it's looking at the stars, people are seeing signs, and then it's that feeling, right? That unnerving feeling that we all have, that you can't shake.
I agree. Yes, it's you can. I don't remember who it was. It might have been you. Can you feel it in the air? It might have been Ed, but very much so. The air is getting thicker and thicker. You can feel it.
Yeah, big time. It's and I would say, I mean, obviously something's got to let go, right? I mean, with all the things going down, right? I mean, we have way too many issues right now, and something's got to pop. We have the food shortage. We have the threat of nuclear war, seemingly every day from Russia now, because the Russian mouthpiece, what the hell's his name? Yuklov, or whatever the hell, Slakovich, whatever the hell his name is. He was saying that the threat of nuclear war is very real, and that we, meaning the world, shouldn't downplay it. So I'm like, this guy just keeps bringing it up. Now, at some point, if you keep talking about it, in my book, it's sort of like fighting.
Yeah.
You keep bringing it up. At some point, you're just full of shit, and you're just doing this to make yourself look like the bigger bully, or the bigger guy on the block, however you want to look at it.
I agree. I think it's just they're just doing the fear porn. They just want to keep us in fear and keep us scared, and everybody's got their eye on the nuclear thing. And I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to that. I just know here, whether it's from foreign soil or with our own people, it's going to get pretty nasty, in my opinion.
It definitely will get nasty. That's the thing. Trying to sit here and figure out when it's going to happen, I think it's sort of like, me personally, I'm not entertaining that. I'm not entertaining the, trying to figure out when, because unfortunately, we are left out of that circle.
Yeah.
You might have a military buddy or two that'll probably give you a heads up, but only by minutes,
Right. I agree.
How many guys, I mean, because the other thing is, how many military buddies have told their friends, right, yo, this shit's about to go down, and then nothing happens. you know?
Right.
So then you ran out of town, you took your family, you packed the bags, you fucking went to the mountains, and you guys sat there and nothing happened, you know?
I know. It's like Marfugel. He was talking about, and I haven't been listening to him lately, but Marfugel was doing the same thing. He was talking about actually going to his bug out location, and, you know, still nothing happened so far. So, I mean, things are happening every day. We're just not seeing the blunt of it yet. We will. In my opinion, we will. Just not yet.
Right, and that's the problem. To keep calling the you know, oh my God, it's gonna happen now bullshit. It's like, dude, you're not gonna fucking know. And when it does, we will address it accordingly. That's the only way to look at it. I mean, you know, it is a bit unnerving, you know, especially I think we've been here a lot. We are a lot closer to nuclear threat than we were in the Cold War or in the 80s and the 70s and 80s, rather. Sorry.
I think so too.
Huh?
I think so too.
Right. So I mean, I think we're definitely flirting with disaster on that thing. But then we have, I know people don't believe in it, but then we have the climate issue. You know, so I mean, if you pay attention to what the planet is doing, and I don't subscribe to the way I I believe in climate change. I don't subscribe to the way the liberals talk about it. Blame humans for it. I think the Earth is going through its natural cycle, and I think it's going to get ugly with us. So now we got that bullshit to deal with.
100%. I agree with that. It's not human. They're trying to make it so we're human. Like I've told friends and on here, you know, nothing says give money to more money to the government to help climate change. No.
No. Yeah.
It's going through its natural cycle, and it's not global warming. You know, I think it's the opposite. Look how everything's been cold for so long.
Yeah, big time. So now, I mean, we're you know what? Like someone said the other day, I forgot who the hell said it. This is like a powder keg ready to go. Something's got to go.
It will.
Now, how bad do you think the food shortage or crisis is going to get?
Bad. Yeah, I think it's going to be bad. I don't know where you're at, but here, and I've said it, I think I said it on my live yesterday, that when me and my daughter went to Walmart and we went to Costco, at the end of Costco, it didn't have much toilet paper at all, or water or anything else. And there's nothing above the shelves. And Walmart is shortening up some of it stacked up on the floors, and some of it, they shortened up the shelves quite a bit to about 1/4 of what it used to be. And those shelves are huge, huge spaces in between products. So I talked to a manager on a regular basis there, and she told me it's getting worse and worse as the shipment comes in. There's less and less stuff on there. So you guys that are out there, you know, get what you can while you can. It's very important.
I love comments like that. We're all going to die. But it gets me. Those comments, we're all going to die. Hey, listen, yeah. Eventually we are by something. So again, guys, you heard it from her. She's seen on her end, and you were told that it's going to get bad.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, listen, yesterday, I spoke about the Goya CEO talking about how bad shit's going to get, you know? So, yes, Alpha Horse, I will be getting more balls jars. I have those stacked here. So,
sorry.
That's fine. This one does it too when there's somebody at the door.
Yeah, there's no one at the door. I don't know what they're barking at. Ruger, if you know anything about it, he's 5 months old, and he's got a big boy voice now.
Really? 5 months?
5 months, and he's 65 pounds, and he's got a big boy voice.
How big's he going to get?
The way he's growing, I'm going to say a little over 100, and he's pure lab.
Wow.
So he's a very good protector. So
that's nice.
It will come in handy.
Yeah, this one is he's a useless protector. He's a good alarm system, but that's it. He's not going to fucking attack anyone. At least I don't think so. I guess
you might be surprised. It depends on what I used to do with my husband was pretend to beat him up just to see what the dogs would do.
All right.
and they do pretty good protecting. They do pretty good. Yeah.
Someone just said, "No, my dogs are barking." Yeah, yeah. So it's usually a domino effect with dogs.
Sorry.
Stock up, not a problem.
My husband came out. He's got them.
Oh, that's fine. Doesn't matter. So, when you were you homesteading before you started prepping, or did prepping lead into homesteading?
Homesteading was first.
Okay.
I always wanted a little farm. We didn't start the garden yet until that started happening. I wanted a farm or a garden, but we did start the pigs right away when we got onto this place. We started pigs to learn about them. This is before that I even knew that all this stuff was going to happen. So we got pigs down pat. Now we don't want to do cows, but we're running into feeding problems. So there's feed that it's in shortage of. So we didn't do pigs this year because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. It's that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad. I don't want to have pigs at 3 months old and then have them starve because, we're just going to have to put them down and process them here. So yeah, I don't want to take that chance.
Okay. I mean, yeah, so then you said you have chickens, right?
Yep.
What do you feed chickens? Because I have no clue what.
So most of the time my chickens, I do have feed for them. They're still, they go through very little feed. I don't know. We get about once every 3 months or something. So I stocked up on that a little bit, but most of the time I let my chickens free roam around here, and they actually see, if you saw my video yesterday, I called my chickens and they come right to me. They stay in our yard, but they're mostly eating the worms and bugs that are in the yard.
Okay.
We're on 2.5 acres here, so there's plenty for them.
Wow. And it's interesting actually that you started the farming first before, the prepping, but that's because that's something you wanted to do.
Yep. Yeah, it's something I always wanted to do.
That's cool. I want to do something like that. When my wife said, "We're getting too old for that," I'm like, "Lady, we're fucking 40-something years old."
Yeah.
70, But I guess one day we will definitely hit that. I hope within the next 5 years, we get a piece of land and some kind of farm going on, and that's if the shoe didn't drop.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not. That's the thing. So people. The prepper community, I find that some people are shorting themselves by not planning ahead anyway. Granted, I think that maybe, we won't see a nuclear attack in the next couple of months. I would say we'll probably see it in the next couple of years. I think we're going to see bolstering and posturing for a while until something snaps, right? And
Right.
if that doesn't happen, then we still got to contend with the possibility of them starting some new shit with some new virus or new.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially the new bird flu. Was it the H5N8? I think it's called. That one is new, and I think that one jumped to a human, a 4-year-old boy in China. And then my question is, why the fuck does everything start in China?
I know.
Every time something happens, it's a new case. It started in China. Like, maybe we should cut China out and launch them in space.
I agree. We need to take care of ourselves. And when I saw there was some breaking news on my phone saying that Biden wanted to give more money over there, it's like, really? Can we afford it? Seriously, sending money out to anybody right now, we should be taking care of our own people.
Yeah.
Go down.
Big time.
Yeah.
I agree. Sending money to other countries at this point in time is just stupid. And it's funny. People are like, well, we're egging Russia on. I can care less if we
Right.
antagonize the shit out of Russia. I don't give a fuck. But people are like, it'll lead to nuclear war. Then it has to happen, because you can't let somebody bully the world. I think, in my opinion, bully the world. And yes, you can argue that we've done it, but we've never done it with nuclear weapons, other than Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and that was a retaliation thing. That wasn't a behave yourself, or else we're gonna drop a bomb on you. and we've never thrown that threat out to any other country, not to my knowledge, anyway.
Right.
But Russia, North Korea, Iran have repeatedly thrown out nuclear war threats or hinted at nuclear war threats.
Very much so.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that this whole thing is going to get out of control. Now, with that, what is your timeline for all of it? Right. So, as you know, the title today is "How Bad Will It All Get?" So, what's your timeline?
So this is gonna probably, I've said it on my channel before, but I honestly don't know. But as the heat goes on and the feeling in the air, I'm thinking sometime by this summer. That I don't think nuclear will come at that time. I think we're gonna hurt ourselves first before anybody else. We'll look at southern border too. That doesn't help, but yeah, I think maybe this summer we're going to see, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, listen, a lot of people have their fingers crossed.
Yeah,
doesn't have, Iran may have nukes. And Viking Prepper just said Iran will have nukes in weeks. I thought they had them already.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, I thought they already had nukes. Whatever. Right, they what you call a program that they were working on. That's right, I forgot about that. But I thought they had hidden nukes anyway. I think, listen, I don't believe somebody mentioned here. They just said that the United States doesn't have hypersonic missiles, and I went over this in my last live stream, and we do have hypersonic missiles, but we don't boast about it. And the thing is that the Russia propaganda saying they have it, which I believe they have it, obviously. I think Russia has some shit too that they're not mentioning. But again, we have a lot of good tech. I think China also has good tech. They're another country
Yes.
that's not going to they're not going to run their mouth about it either.
No.
They're playing the same game we're playing. And I think everybody's playing that game for the most part.
I agree.
Even North Korea has a couple of things that, we don't know exactly what it is until they fucking unleash it. So
I agree.
Green Cup. So yeah, I mean, again, it's all my beliefs, but it is, unfortunately, we have to wait and see what it is.
We do.
First.
That's all we can do is just sit and wait and see what happens. All we can go by is what we have going on around us,
That's about that's about it. So guys, with that being said, you guys are listening to Angry Homesteader, and if you are liking what you're hearing, which I know most of you are, head over to her channel and like and subscribe to her channel. Again, she has a head on her shoulders. She's not a kook. I know that a lot of people, a lot of channels, they're losing their fucking minds. And I think people are losing their minds. I'm going to be fair. I think people are losing their minds as a whole because of stress. And the problem is we're in this preppers. We're in this chamber, if you will. And it's turning into an echo chamber. And it's been an echo chamber for a lot of us for 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years. And I know a lot of the older people have remembered the threat of nuclear war. When 2000 came around, they thought that all the nuclear silos were going to fucking launch missiles automatically or go on an automatic meltdown. You had people who were legitimately scared. Then you had 2012. Then you had people who were legitimately scared. With this feels a lot different.
It does.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, I do. There's always a day, and including me saying that I think things are going to come to a head. We're going to hit a wall this summer. I could be 100% wrong. That's just my opinion and my feeling on it. So all we can do is sit and wait and live our lives every day, guys. So like I said. I'm not stopping building my garden. Even if we find something, we're actively looking for other property. But I'm going to live my life and put my garden together still, as if we're not leaving. And if we do, then that's the way it is.
That's exactly how to look at it, and exactly how to go keep moving through with life, man. Just don't fucking stop and keep keep planning accordingly, and then when the brick wall lands in front of you, well, then you either stop in front of it and address it, or you go around it.
Right.
In our case, I think if we go nuclear, we're going to have to stand in front of it and address it. There's not too much going around nuclear war, but
No.
other things that pop up, we'll see how it handles. Listen, I didn't want, I bought into a new vehicle, and I remember after I bought it, right after I walked out of the shop, I was like, the fuck did I do that for? Right? But I'm like, you need a vehicle, one. Two, none of this disaster, what you call it, is a promise other than the food shortage. The nuclear war is not a promise, and meteor smacking into us is not a promise. Even though both of those scenarios are not if, but when that'll happen kind of deal. But
Right.
what is your, all right, what is your breaking point? Rather, like, what do you fear out of all of this? Out of all of this that's going to happen, what's the worst one that you don't want to happen?
Something happening to my husband and my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then involving
people coming and attacking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys are ready for that anyway, though, right? Yeah. So that's a good thing. Not me, unfortunately. Again, harsh language and an axe. That's about as busy as I get.
At least you got that.
Huh?
At least you have that.
I guess. I mean, we had a crossbow, and then, well, I had a bunch of friends play around with it, and I was broken. So, and it was, yeah, but it was a shit crossbow. It was almost like one of those toy things. But yeah,
that's the same thing we got. We had one, and it's just crappy. It's useless. Might as well hit somebody with it.
There you go. You're more effective hitting somebody with a crossbow.
Yeah.
But yeah, Viking preppers, like, you need to get yourself I know what I need to get. But
yeah.
Like, I refuse to. Now, there was a cop telling me, he's like, just get the shotgun. He says, go out, get the permit. He says, get a shotgun. He says, that's way better than trying to get a handgun, because the handgun permit here in the city, you have to be interviewed to get one. Right?
Do you really?
Yeah. You have to. You pay $400 or $450 for the permit. You get your balls broken by a bunch of assholes down at One Police Plaza. They're not cops. They're civilians, actually, and they sit there and they break your nuts. And
wow.
Once you get the interview, they'll tell you July 5th at 2:00. You go July 5th, you get there at 1:00. 2:00 comes and goes. 3:00 comes and you're still sitting there. So they try to aggravate you before bringing you in and then asking you aggravating questions. Now, this is a few years back. I do not know if they still practice that, but the cop who works at One Police Plaza, who knew those people, he says that's what they do. He says they try to get you agitated to see whether or not you're going to walk out, be angry, snap at them, like all of these psychological tests that they give
testing you.
Right. And I'm like, man, all that for a fucking handgun? I said, no, thank you. When we leave this state, or rather this city, that's the first thing I'm getting,
Oh, good. Yeah, they're trying all kinds of, man, they want you going through hoops, all kinds of stuff to get protection. So even here, Washington State is not as bad as where you have it, but it's pretty darn close. Our governor here, hate to say this word, but he's a dickwad. He's very liberal. So
I hear you. Listen, it's politicians, right? What do you say about them? They ruin this fucking country right there, and they ruin the world, because again, you got CA. Thank you for the donation. You got Putin, who's ruining his side of the country, and for whatever people think he's an angel. You got China ruining their country. We see what the fuck's going on there.
I know, huh?
And so, I mean, where does it end, and when do we, the people, whether it's Ukraine, Russia, China, India, when do we stop and go, all right, enough already? Let's get these fucking dudes out of the parliament, the White House, wherever the hell they're in at the time, or their vacation home in fucking Italy. When do we take these people out of there and start beating the balls off them?
I agree.
And then make them listen.
Yeah, I agree. Well, they're not going to listen. They're power hungry. For one, they're not going to listen to us. The only time they're going to listen is if we stand up as a whole and say that we had enough. and I don't know when that's going to get there. I think, just like my husband, I think you said this. I think when everybody loses everything is when people are finally going to stand up. They're not in their little comfy home. They're not watching their TV. I think that's when people will stand as a whole. And that's pretty sad to say. I mean, I think they have conditioned people to not feel angry, not feel, not get upset. And man, they knew what they were doing.
The Chinese. Yeah. Now, alpha horses stop paying taxes. You'll have their attention. Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
Alpha horse, I've said that numerous times, but nobody wants to be the one that land in jail. I don't care if I landed in jail for this, but I don't want to be the only one landing in jail for it. Like, if there's a few thousand of us, then I'm all right with that, But if it's just me or two other dudes, then it's pointless.
Right.
They peg you out to look like a fucking real dick. Chris Corley, thank you for the donation.
Right. Look what they did to the people on the 6th, how long they kept them in jail, and they did absolutely nothing wrong.
They stood up for what they thought was right. I mean, me personally, I don't think that was the one to go for.
No.
That wasn't the cause to draw the line. You got it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So, yeah, my daughter has gotten to this kick of drinking tea, so I think she thinks she's British. But anyway, she made me tea. So yeah, she's a big fan of it all of a sudden now. Strange, but I mean, I like tea too, but she really loves her tea, especially before she goes to bed. But
that's cool.
Yeah, someone just said Triple X said it's going to get nasty. Yeah, again, I don't want to entertain how nasty it's going to get, though it is entertaining to entertain how nasty it's going to get. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So, what is your opinion on Biden? Okay, and no. Before you start firing off, and he's a piece of shit, and I hope he dies. Before you start firing that off, medically, what do you think is going on with him?
He's not there.
Okay.
He's not there. I think he has dementia, and I don't think he's in the first phases of dementia. And I think it's absolutely crazy that everybody's ignoring it and not listening to the people. Even the people who voted for him know that there's something wrong. I agree. Rapture ready. Are you not entertained? I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because with Trump, man, Trump made a couple statements. Listen, Trump made some dick statements. I'm like, God, why the fuck did he say that? But with that, he makes that comment, and people are like, oh, people that make that comment are sick in the head. I'm like, yo, these people never been to the firehouse. Some of the shit that we say, you're like, what the fuck did you just say? And I think out of the group of firefighters that I was absolutely, according to the guys, the worst one to say the most fucked up shit. There was actually somebody else who used to say some really fucked up shit. But when Trump said it, you're like, okay, it wasn't that big of a deal. But now you got a president, Biden, who is shaking people's hands who are not there.
Yeah.
Can't find his way off the stage to save his life, right? There's a video going around where the Easter Bunny helped him off the stage or directed him.
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay, I didn't see that video yet, but I heard about it.
Yeah, he guided him. The Easter Bunny had to go because he was waving to his subjects. Let's put it that way. And the Easter Bunny, guided him with his arm to get away from them and do what he needs to do. And I'm just like,
holy shit.
It's just unreal. The handshake thing got me though.
Yeah, that was weird. When he said, I was like, what is he doing? And I'm like, no, he's not doing what I think he's doing. So I brushed it off. With that, not even 2 hours later, people like, yo, he was shaking the Invisible Man's hand and all this other shit. I was like, oh man, that's fucking crazy.
If this was Trump, and if this was Trump doing what he's doing, he would have been gone a long time ago because everybody on the left absolutely can't stand his guts.
Right.
But because they're protecting our current leader, if you want to call him that, it's like, it's just nuts that they're not doing a thing about that, you know?
Well,
So when do we stand up to that?
well, this is my question. The Republicans and conservatives, yeah, why aren't they banding together and be like, "Oh, what the fuck is wrong with him? Get your man in check because he's shaking people's hand and mumbling shit that you don't know what the fuck he's saying."
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? Someone said the Invisible Man is real. You're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, this is why I'm convinced that all politicians are in on everything that's going on.
Yes.
You got a psych patient in the White House who is fucking up every day. Every day he's fucking up, and people are like, well, he's tired, and he is getting older. And I'm like, that's not an excuse. Like the president of the United States shouldn't be getting tired and older.
I know.
I mean, yes.
No, it is. I totally agree with you. I think both sides of the aisle, I think this was planned out, and it amazes me. I always wondered how Hitler did it, and now I know. There was a friend that came over here, and he said he didn't know if he should get this or not. And I said, I never knew how he did it in World War II. And I said, now I see it. And he never got that shot because of that.
Well, have you ever read Mein Kampf?
No.
Interesting book, to say the least. And when you read the book, you see how he got people in line. He did it with he wasn't even charismatic. Like Obama had a charismaticism to him that was like when he spoke, you listened. Whether you liked him or not, when he spoke, you were like, man, that guy could talk, right? When Hitler spoke in the beginning, in his early stages, not the later stages, his early stages, the things he said, you were like, people, he uplifted people in such a way. Again, he didn't have charisma. He had, and it wasn't even anger in the beginning. It was like leadership. And I'm not like, trying to put this guy on a pedestal, but for people who, if you've read the book, you understood why he was able to get the entire German empire to follow him, to lunacy, basically, right? Yeah. Because I mean, the ideology that they were going to take over the world, and they looked at a group of people and said, "You Jews, we're going to put you guys in camps," and then that was it, and people fell in line.
I know.
So scared to fucking talk back or say anything back to him. Even his own inner circle was like, "This is fucking getting carried away," Yeah. And then he had inner circle that were like, "You're not doing enough. You got to do harder." I was like, "What?" So I was like, "Holy shit!" So the German Empire, the way they did it. See, the liberals are doing it through weakness. They're weakening everything. They're weakening everybody. They're browbeating the shit out of people. They're telling people you're homophobic, you're racist, you're this, you're that. Hitler didn't do that, and yet he still had a nation follow him.
I know. It's amazing.
Right? We're clearly doing something wrong.
Yeah, I know. Yes, in the very beginning stages, he was very good at what he did. He knew how to get into people's minds. I'll have to get that book just to... I love stuff like that now. Everything, the way the world is going right now. I have a friend that's on here right now, and she's got the audio of, I think, The Real Fauci, I think it's called. And the stuff she was telling me what's on it with Mr. G in it and the things how he grew up and what he's doing. And so I just got that book. So I want to see, I love books like that.
Definitely going to take a gander at that book. Right now, I'm trying to finish the other Great Reset book. Someone said it's called Narcissist. Maybe. I'm reading a book called The Great Reset. And that book's alarming. Like, you're looking at it, and the book was written last year, 2 years ago.
Oh.
He dives into depth about the Great Reset and the movements. And I'm still in the beginning because I'm trying to read a couple pages a night before I go to bed, just to keep my mind busy and out of the dark corners of hell.
I know.
Right? So Bella Hayes, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it.
I know what you're saying. My husband gets after me. Nothing bothers him. I can't say that. Things bother him, but he said, there's nothing we could do about what's going on right now. And I think of it differently because I can't sleep at nighttime because I'm like what you said, I'll go into the darkest and I'm thinking, okay, what if this scenario happens? How are we going to react or what are we going to do? Because you think the worst and hope for the best, and you prepare for the worst. So,
Right. You know what? And when I first started prepping, I used to do that. At night, I would be, thinking that. And now with like this, the threat of nuclear war, again, going to the corners of hell and thinking about the aftermath of it. Being ready for what's coming is one thing. When it actually happens, it's an entirely different ball game.
I
Uh,
agree.
right. And that's what I war game in my head. But then also I take valerian root and then I knock the fuck out, so I don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
Uh,
does that work for you?
oh man, it's awesome. If I take melatonin, right? Melatonin, right? If I take melatonin, I wake up in the morning feeling like I was drugged. If I take valerian root, it relaxes me, helps me sleep. Doesn't put me to sleep,
Oh,
helps me sleep, and then I wake up the next morning feeling good.
oh,
Um,
okay. I'll have to try that.
I tell people don't take anything that's going to put you to sleep. Like Ambien. I don't even know if they sell that anymore.
They
Uh,
do. I'm actually taking it.
no shit. Okay.
Yeah,
I,
and I do. I agree with you. I need to get off of it, and I need to slow it down. Is what I need, because we know where it's going. So,
right. Yes. Valerian root tea. They have valerian root tea. They have valerian root pills. I take something from Vitamin Shop called Sleep Right that has valerian root in it. It also has John's wort and I think cat something. I can't remember the other what you
oh,
call it.
good.
Right.
Okay.
These are things that'll help you sleep. Also, ZMA, magnesium helps you sleep as well. Magnesium zinc, sorry, will help you
That's
relax.
what my daughter said. She
Yeah.
keeps telling me to take that.
Yeah, definitely start taking that and get off the drugs that put you to sleep.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
because if something happens in the middle of the night, it's going to be fucking incredibly hard for you to try to get up out of that sleep with the Ambien on board. Versus this other stuff, you wake up groggy, but you'll still hop to it.
Right. Yeah, I agree, because you really, even though you sleep, you still got to be. Well, I don't know if it's different for dads. I can't speak for dads. I'm not going to get into the sexes, but anyways,
Right.
moms, once the children are born, it's like you hear something on a dime, you are up. And that was my biggest problem, is anything little, because you hear all kinds of things out here. So,
Yeah, it's someone said ashwagandha as well. I didn't know that. I take ashwagandha to boost the testosterone and other stuff. I didn't know that it helped with sleep.
oh,
I had no,
no kidding. Yeah.
oh shit! I have a whole shitload of ashwagandha in there. I want to put myself into a sleep coma. I did
Yeah,
that once.
you
I,
want to be as sharp as you can if you get up in the middle of the night.
yeah, you don't want to be fucking slurring your words at the door or trying to tackle somebody,
Yeah.
and they just push you to the side because you're so groggy and
Yeah.
junky. They're like, this guy a fucking what is that? Junkie in your apartment, So, yeah, you want to be able to hop to it as fast as you can.
Yeah,
Take
you
apple cider
do.
vinegar, the oldest medicine. Oh,
Do
okay.
you keep? I have a question for you, just a little one. Do you keep something in by you when you sleep for some kind of weapon, or just in case, or you don't have to worry about that where you are at?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it here.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
not at all. The build. See, that's the upside. The one upside. There might be a couple, but the one upside is in a building like this. First of all, people know who you are. You're less likely to be fucked with, right? And that's not because I'm big or because I'm a fireman. It's just the way I carry myself. But as far as pushing robberies and shit like that go, or home invasions, if you will. Sorry. Um, yeah, those are not a real big issue around here, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have that problem, at least not yet.
Okay.
If the food dwindles down, that's a different ball game altogether. And it doesn't give I don't they don't care how big you are, how many guns you might have. If they're hungry, they're coming.
Yeah, that's desperation.
Yeah.
So because we're on acreage, there's some idiots that try to think they could come out here and do things. So we had one guy. My husband just went to bed. I went to bed with him at 8:00 at night. I don't know why, but I did at that time. And our labs sleep with us. And our yellow lab, Willow, at the time, she was up barking her hair up. And I saw a shadow through the curtain in the bedroom because it was just still a little bit of sunlight left. And that person just kept walking around to see how he can get in. So, after that, I'm known around here in this area that the sheriff told me to open carry. So I open carry in my yard and all around, and people see me, and they don't, ever since then, they really don't come here and screw with anything. So, but we're lucky like that. I can open carry here still. But like what you said, I'm at the point where, they're writing so many laws and doing so much stuff. I really don't give a crap anymore, So I'm going to carry one way or the other.
I hear you. I wish I had that. Sorry. Whoop, wrong way.
Yeah, I do.
Ready to go right off the screen. Wish we had that option here, the open carry. And first of all, it's no open carry here. You can get a concealed carry, but you have to move something like $5,000 a day. So you have to carry cash. You have to have a cash business that moves at least $5,000 a day, to and from a bank or from your business to the bank. And it's the only way you can have a concealed carry. And even then, to shoot somebody, you have to be in some hell of a predicament to do so. We don't have a stand your ground option law here. So, for example, if I can run and I turn around and shoot this dude, the lawyer's going to be like, and the judge will be like, well, why didn't you run? You had this street behind you. You could have did that. And so you have to be like cornered, and you can't it's like all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
You have to check them. You have to check the boxes before you can fire your gun.
It's amazing with criminals, the way they're doing it. Of course, we know that's what the things that they're pushing for 2A is, because the criminals don't give a crap. It's the law-abiding citizens that are hurting, and they know that. And where do we get to the point? And they're letting the criminals get out, very easily getting out of jail, where people like you and me who are law-abiding, go by every book in the law, are the ones that get screwed over with that crap.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's just insane how that's, like you said, criminals. I mean, I don't know. I mean, guys are walking around. People are telling me to calm down because, guys are carrying on them now. So it's not like it was, even back in the days when I was a kid, people carried in the city here. But it seems like everybody's got a fucking gun on them. They're just itching to use it.
I know.
My wife was like, you got to behave yourself because you don't know who. I'm like, listen, I said, I'll just dodge the bullets. No, but she doesn't like that. You asshole, something. I'm like, yes. But she's, I said, listen, you can't. Yesterday, case in point, yesterday, some kid was walking behind us. And then he comes around us real fast. And I knew that he wasn't going to do anything, but he comes around real fast. And then he takes this bottle and he puts it on the ledge. And I'm like, really, dude? There's a garbage can right down the block. And he looks at me, he looks at the bottle, he grabs the bottle, he goes to throw it away. The kid gets in front of us. The wife's like, you don't know if he was going to pull out a gun. I'm like, so then we don't fucking say anything anymore?
I know. Seems like that's the way they're trying to get it.
Oh, the whole thing in school, the whole BS in school with you shouldn't fight, and men don't fight. They talk it out. Get the fuck out of here. Men fucking fight. This is why we got to move from the pussies, because these kids run to the teacher and tell instead of to the side and handling it like kids.
Isn't that something? I know. When my son was at school, I told him, I said, if that kid throws the first punch, you have my permission to defend yourself. I didn't care what the principal said. It's such bull. It's
insane that they're like, oh, you shouldn't fight. I'm like, yo, knock him on his ass. It's
I agree.
And again, this is a society we have. We're in this fucking this bullshit here where they're like, if you so much as fight, they want to expel you now. I'm like, wait a minute, but the kid picking on the other kid, and so the kid got tired of being picked on, rocked this kid, and he's getting suspended. Like that's the kind of shit we're
that's about right.
Right. Here in the city anyway, innocent victims.
Yeah. That's unreal what they're trying to do.
Turn it down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
So, With that, man, what's the crime like by you or in your state, rather? Sorry.
So Western Washington, closer to Seattle, we're about 50 miles south. We're pretty much on the base of Mount Rainier, but Seattle is bad. It's bad. Seattle is. My doctor wanted to send me up there to a specialist, and I told him, no, I'm not going up there. I'm not going to put myself in a position where I know there is a good chance of any trouble, because I'm not one looking for trouble. I'm going to stay away from trouble as much, but if it comes to me, that's a whole different ball game. So if I can avoid, Seattle's bad, and Tacoma is too. Tacoma's bad too.
No shit, Tacoma's bad?
Yep, Tacoma's bad. Yep. Oh, the freaking liberals. Sorry.
No, I hear you, man. That's what
Well, you saw that Chaz thing that was going. It was way worse than what they said. Nobody explained it enough. It was bad. People were getting shot up there every day, not just one or two there. Those were bad dudes.
Now, did they disband that Chaz place, or is it still up and running?
No, it's gone. It's gone. What got me is it took over the police station over there, and I'm like, I mean, it screamed. I knew right then and there when they took over the police station and the police left and they caught the police station on fire. I'm going, is this place? I wanted to scream and say, is this place insane? The criminals are taking over.
And that's how they, like you said earlier, that's how they want it.
Yeah.
They're setting us up. All right, so walk that back. They're setting the country up for failure, and they're setting cities for failure. And I guess, man, maybe, just maybe, they're setting all of this up. They're weakening us so that when there's an invasion, we just roll over. I don't know. You know, I mean, like what would be the end game in weakening society, the American society, you know, and then taking the guns away? Well, to take the fight out of us has to be. But if they're taking the fight out of us, what fight are they taking away for? So, I
agree.
Right? Is somebody going to invade? Is something else coming our way? Like, why would they wholeheartedly go out of their way to weaken the American society the way they're doing it? Someone said wokeism. Yeah, wokeism is destroying fucking.
It is. Yep. So my opinion on that is that I think the way they're systematically knocking us down every single day, I think what they want is everybody gathered, and they want 100% control over everybody. That's my opinion.
Well, definitely about control. But the thing is that China has been going at it, for like 30, 40 years with their, actually, no, longer than that. I'm sorry. Way longer than that. And they mastered it. But I think it would be harder to get that many people on. You can't even get liberals on board with some of the shit the Chinese pull off, right? So how would they implement that here in the United States?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a failure. I think they're underestimating what we're all going to do, because my sister calls me a fighter, and because I think this country is worth fighting for. And if that means me as a female, that I have to defend what we need to keep our freedom, which they're taking away every single day, little by little, I'm going to do what we can. And I don't care who knows it. And I don't care, because we need to fight. We're Americans. We need to fight for our country. Domestic or foreign. I don't care what it is.
Definitely. I'm looking down at my iPad, looking at the chat. The chat's I don't know. It's acting strange on the StreamYard.
Oh, is it?
On my end, it's the way it's moving is weird. It's constantly moving here on the iPad. Anyway, enough of that. So, what is your favorite prepper activity or homesteading activity?
I guess my chickens.
Okay.
My chickens are my favorite. I've been through, this is why you try to do things ahead of time if you can. You go through trial and errors, and that's with gardening, that's with our pigs, that's with the chickens. What breed of chickens? I finally found so far the best breed of chickens, and it's all trial and error. But I absolutely love my chickens.
It's good.
So, and they'll be here, and I hate to say this, but if you need to eat, then they're here. So.
My food's already roaming around in the back. Yes. Unfortunately, for people like myself, we have to go to supermarkets and, deal with that bullshit. It's funny. The other day, and I should have fucking known this. I went to the store and I got a ground beef. You guys better knock it off. So, So anyway, I get the ground beef, and I should have fucking known. Right at the store I was in, I was like, all right. I get home, and the package is bulging.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck, man. So I was like, I open it, like I stick the knife in it just to let the pressure out, and I smelled it, and I was like, God damn it. So, whatever. I wind up opening it. Now, I've done it before where it smelled a little bad, and I still made it anyway and ate it.
Oh, dang.
Right. And I didn't get sick. But so I was going to do the same thing, because I'm like, maybe I'm like, no, I won't do that to the kids anyway. So take it to the wife. I'm like, what do you think? She goes, that's bad. And I took it back to the store. But it's awesome when you have, food roaming around in the back. If you get your cows later on or whatever it is, you have your livestock ready to rock and roll, ready to be eaten, and provide you whatever you need to provide.
Right.
That's why city people need to get out. City people who want to prep and farm, that's why we have to get out of the city.
Yeah.
Because you're completely relying on yourself as a homesteader, and that's the end game, I think, for preppers. Homesteading.
I think so too. I think that's a good way of putting it. Really, preppers, that's what it's about, is actually homesteading. My daughter, she called me a prepper, and I only started getting a little bit at a time, after I had that dream and that guy in the grocery store. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. And it was just trying to gather as much as you can. But what it comes down to is I thought of things as being prepared. I didn't, because they put such a bad taste in the word prepper anymore, and it shouldn't be. It's just prepared. It's just being prepared. And that used to be the lifestyle of America. You just prepare for the next season. So, but no, they had to ruin that one. The word prepper.
They ruined everything, especially with that stupid ass TV show, Doomsday Preppers.
Yeah. The one, I don't know if you watched this one, I'm sure you did, but the one that was that the police went to go get because he wasn't supposed to have firearms, that was in my town.
No shit.
Yeah, what a dumbass.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not supposed to have firearms, and you put it on national TV. It's like, just unreal.
They went after one guy who was making homemade bombs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was making these homemade bombs, and he was blowing them up on camera. People it's like, oh yeah, you guys gotta watch this. And I think he buried it or some shit. And then he had like a long fuse. He lights it. He runs away. Boom, and then the ATF comes after him. They hit him with a fine or something like that. Because they just told him you can't do that shit. But the fact that he did it on national TV, and National Geographic knew that, but I think because they were on his land that it was acceptable. I think that was what he was thinking as well. Well, the ATF didn't think that was fucking cool or funny, and they visited his home. So
wow. Yeah, there's some stupid things on that. I know they purposely make it look like that there's just crazy people that are doing this, and it really isn't. I mean, how they spin that was just it was actually quite entertaining how they did that.
Well, listen, to be fair, they were telling people, we got to make the show enticing, and we got to make it look good. So if you guys don't mind embellishing a couple things, and a lot of those people are like, yeah, man, I'll embellish it, you know. Um, yeah, I took issue with embellishing some of the things that they wanted me to embellish. Uh,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, what? No, I'm not fucking doing that. You know, so like I was short and snippy with them at the same time. Um, but watching other people do some of the shit they did, I was like, what the fuck, man? Why?
Right.
You know? But
I tried finding the episode that you were in, but I couldn't find it.
oh, it's not worth finding. Tell me all the time, it's not worth watching. Uh, you know, it's just imagine you know, another prepper episode with a black guy. That's it. It's simple as that. People are like, oh, what episode is it? I don't even know. I know which one it is, but I just don't tell people.
Right. I got that when you had that smart ass smile on your face. Yeah. That's what I got.
Yeah, people are like, oh, you? Nope. I do not know where you can find that episode. But yeah, it was. Listen, looking back on it, it's funny, but the way they pegged the prepper community was shit, you know? And you could have made it entertaining and still made preppers look good and still had people join the fold, you know, instead of, you know, looking at the show and going, well, those people are crazy. Because that's what everybody's, you know, said and did.
Right.
I was on with a couple other preppers from the show. I was on, who's the gay dude with the white hair? Anderson Cooper.
Oh.
Right. I was on the Anderson Cooper show, and after we did our little segment, the Housewives shows came out. One of those fucking knucklehead, you know, chicks. They came, not one, a bunch of them came out, and they were like, "Man, those people are crazy." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And everybody's like, "Ah," and I'm like, "And now we have the last laugh because look at all the shit that's going on."
I know. I agree. I totally agree with that. It's like, you know, the people that are making fun of us and even friends. I have friends that won't listen to anything I'm saying. They're just laughing it off and saying I'm just, you know, doomsday. And it's like, I'm really trying to get you guys prepared. I have one friend that's in the chat and she's getting prepared. She just bought cows today. So she's getting prepared. So I'm really glad for her.
And that's good. I mean, but I think the problem is, I think we're going to see this bigger problem with people trying to prep at the last possible minute, right? And I'm not talking about the run on the supermarket. That's the last stage for America, is to fucking make a run on the supermarkets. But you're going to have people like, let's say a couple of your friends in the next couple of months, they're going to be like, oh, what do you think about, they're going to start, you know, they're going to open up the floor with well, what do you think about this situation? You already know if they ask you about a food crisis or the fucking nuclear attack, you know that they're already entertaining getting ready. And you're going to see a flux of people get ready like right before whatever happens. And then you're going to see the run on the supermarket in the last stage.
I agree. It's going to be bad. I told my husband that. I said, we're not going to be near a grocery store when it goes down because it's going to be bad. People are going to fight. It's for their lives. So.
Yeah, big time. What the hell was I watching? I was just watching a movie. It was a end of the world movie. 2:00 in the morning, I'll fucking think of it. But I was just watching it, and it was interesting. You know, watching people miss the boat on prepping and just, you know, playing second guessing it, like, oh shit, I should have did this, I should have did that. Like that's, I think, why we prep, so that we don't have to sit there and go, I should have did this, I should have did that.
Right. I agree. Yep. I agree. Watch that movie, Don't Look Up. I think that's funnier than crap.
It is.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it's very good.
It was very good, entertaining.
They poke fun at everybody. Then there was a show that I was talking to people about called From. I think From is a very prepperish, homesteading kind of TV show.
Oh, I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, it's very good. It's well written. I mean, it's written from the guy from Lost. I'm like, motherfuckers better not pull what we think, you know, what they did the last time with Lost, right? With all of them being fucking dead in the ocean. Hoping that it doesn't end up that way, but it doesn't. And there's an interesting thing that's happening in the show, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be really good. So they got picked up for a second season. So if anybody's interested, you should definitely watch it.
I will. I'll look into it. I don't watch much TV. I watch a lot of YouTube. So, and I only have a few people that I watch. So,
Are you? Yeah, you know what's funny? I watch less TV now. I mean, I do watch. I've been watching like Peaky Blinders. It's I guess they're Irish that live in London, if I'm not mistaken, or the UK rather. Sorry, Small Heath in the UK, and it's a really good show, uh, and it's not prepper related, right? It's thing, yeah. It's I just you don't want to overload the prepper nerve, you know, by like talking about prepping, watching prepping videos, doing prepping videos, turning around watching prepping movies, then reading a prep.
I know.
Man, right?
I know. I know. It's, I think I do because you learn a lot, you know, whether it's little or a lot. It's just like my potatoes. I did potatoes and someone asked me about you know, because Pinball said something about, you know, if they have eyes of 6 inches, snap them off, don't put them in the ground. Well, I put them in tires just to see what it would do. I put them in sideways and they're coming up, you know. So just little stuff like that, even everything helps. Everybody helps.
It does. Travel Nurse Prepper, thank you for the donations. And KR, your last name is getting me. Thank you for the donation. And if I missed anybody else, guys, thank you for the donation. All right, guys. So with that being said, we are actually over the hour. That is not bad. So for those of you that are still hanging with us, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I can care fucking less. And for those of you that are still with us, head over to Angry Homesteader's YouTube page, like and subscribe to her channel, especially if you like what you heard. With that being said, guys, we are going to hang it up in a couple of minutes. I do have 2 more guests on next month in May, right? We are in April. Yes, May. All right. So April 3rd, I got Prepper 101 who is in the chat. And then May 3rd.
Yeah.
Sorry. May 3rd at 9 o'clock, I have Prepper 101. And May 10th, I have Survival Living at 9 o'clock as well. So
I'm really enjoying these. Having guests on, I'm subscribing to everybody you're putting on because they're really fascinating.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. You know what I learned from the last time when I first started doing this? I'm a little more cautious. You know, a little more cautious with who I push. But it coincidentally, I think with the help of like Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, Northern Girl Hobbies, they've been drawing my attention to certain people. I think Gene as well, or Gene W, who's one of my mods, Blue Vandal, they've been guiding me in the right direction of people to look at. So it's been, listen, they've been giving me suggestions. I've watched people for a little bit, and I'm, you know, I'm getting a kick out of it.
Good.
You know?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So it's not bad. Also, on Vancity Prepper's channel, May 4th, she'll be interviewing me. So, right, for those of you that are interested, you can head over to Vancity Prepper's channel. So, guys, with that, we're going to go off the air. Again, also, I'm sorry, before I end this, Bella Hayes, the last week I put the link up for the autism walk for her family. If you're going to donate, can you do me a favor and make sure you put it under the name Cologne? Is that the name? Yeah, Cologne Family or Team Cologne. And yeah, just to give her the, I guess it's the credit, something like that. Just make sure you put it under there so that helps with her donations, if that makes sense. All right, guys. So again, other than that, ma'am, any last words?
Just thank you for having me on. And I went onto YouTube out of my own frustrations. I'm not a camera person. I'm usually a shy person. I could do one-on-one, but because of all this stuff that's going on, it pissed me off enough to actually start a YouTube channel. And I don't care if I make money or not. I want everybody to get together and get prepared.
What's going on, Just Josh? Nice of you to join us all late and shit. But yeah, listen, I hear you. You sensible people should start a channel or should gripe their opinion. Absolutely. But then you have the other side of that coin, right? And
I
that
know.
other side of the coin is the dangerous side of the coin. What's going on, Latina Prepper? That's the dangerous side of the coin, because here's the problem, and I believe in free speech, and it's all about free speech. But at what point does free speech become bad, right? So us here, for example, because they're going to use this as an argument.
Yeah.
Right, this is the argument, and I'm talking about the left using this as an argument. Look at what's going on with free speech. They are trying to drown it out. They're trying to drown out factual things, whatever that is, right? Whatever the topic is, they're trying to drown out factual issues, and trying to replace that factual issues with their bullshit.
Yeah.
So then their bullshit is actually dangerous, or more dangerous than the truth. So how do we stop that without impeding on the First Amendment? That is the bigger question that everybody should be asking themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Because where do we go from there, right? I mean, like, if we're sitting here trying to kick the facts and the truth, and we're trying to get it out there to the people, but the fear mongers are kicking up something else, and then and the fear mongers, I'm talking about the government, and then you got people, the government, with the misinformation. How do you combat that, and how do you stop it?
Right. The only thing we could do is just more and more of us getting on here and talking about what we're doing. That's all we can do.
Right. Right. That is true. Megan Fox is a prepper. That would be interesting if she was, but so was yeah, yeah. So is Post Malone. Apparently, he's another prepper. He's deep into it. But yes, Alien Prepper. The left are the worst. They're pretty bad. The shit they do. So anyway, before we whatever, before I fucking pass out and she has to do other things. Yeah. Thank you guys for following us tonight. Thank you guys for subscribing to her channel, for those of you that did. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later, guys.